Somebody gave me my own action figure.
This is Cassian, first scene, season 2. They got it right. Perfect.
It's still slim pickings. I'm guessing companies are gearing up for San Diego Comic-Con, which is closer than most of us realize. But there were still things that caught my eye this week because I'm Robo. This here's the rewind. I mean, they have me out here talking about Dragon Ball. You know things are lean when I'm talking about Dragon Ball. And it's not even from the sliver of Dragon Ball that I do know. This is apparently from the mobile game Dragon Ball Legends. I'm guessing, don't shoot the messenger, I don't know. I do know that red hair means Super Saiyan God, and blue hair means Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. So I have that going for me, but beyond that, I'm completely lost here. But I'm not just bringing them up as filler. Oh no. The reason that these two have been living in my head for the past week is their names. I've gleaned enough cooking shows and shorts to know that a shallot is some type of onion. There's some kind of relationship there. But as a born and raised Southern gentleman, I know what a giblet is. That there's chicken innards. And beyond that, that's all I got. I'm assuming these are some kind of fighters to go toe-to-toe with Goku? Yeah? The two figures almost look like color swaps. A lot of the details match up, but then you notice boots and shorts and the hair flip move to the other side of the head, and yeah, it's two different characters. One just goes Super Saiyan God and the other goes Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. So one with red hair, one with blue hair. That's why the fusion picture is confusing me a bit. Both of these have the exact same face and the exact same hairs. So do you have to buy two giblets in order to recreate this image? And that may get a bit expensive. Well, depending on your source, on Premium Bandai, they list the prices as $90 US for shallot and $110 for giblet, probably because of the cloth coat. But on the info pages on Tamashii Nations, they are advertised as $8,800 and $1,100 in yen, or $61 and $76 at current conversion rates. They are listed as Tamashii Web exclusives, so I don't know. I'm not interested enough to go digging further than that. It's up to you if you want these figures. I have listed the links to Premium Bandai in the description, but if you're up on your Dragon Ball, if you're up on your S.H. Figuarts, you probably already know where to go to grab these. But now I'm hankering for some giblet gravy. And it's okay in dressing. It's one of those things that you don't expect, or well, I was like, wait, what's this weirdness in my stuffing? And then, okay. And as a kid, I'd pick around it, but as I got older, it's kind of, it's just meat. I'm swinging back around to the Storm Collectibles Storm Arena Street Fighter Alpha 3 Sagat for one simple reason. Someone in the comment section last week pointed out that ab crunch, and now I can't quit staring at it. Well, okay, as I was walking out here, they did post up the full solicitation and photo spread. So there is that, but my brain's focusing on one thing. I didn't catch it the first time around because I'm good with the Mety Toyz Street Fighter. And well, to repeat myself for the gazillionth time, I'm not a big Street Fighter guy. I played it back in the day, but it was mostly over people's shoulders I was watching. And okay. But I thought, well, I've got my line. Here's another line for people who wanted a different offering. So here you go. But again, why is that cutout so small? I get them wanting to make it less intrusive, maybe, where it's not just big old joint in the middle of the torso, but I feel like they should have at least followed that ab. They started to. It goes up to a point, curves down, but then slices straight down to the waistline. Maybe it's to leave more room for the legs, the pegs coming up, the socket, allow it to swing higher for kicks and that kind of thing, because physics. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely not a tragedy in action figure design. I'm losing my balance, I'm falling back away from the camera. It just strays a bit from the norm, which is not a bad thing. They're just doing something different. How about we wait until it gets in hand, see how it actually functions, go from there. Maybe it's better, who am I to say? Maybe there's a reason. We'll find out. All the other pictures they posted are great. What more did you expect from Storm Collectibles? There's 2 head sculpts, 2 sets of hands, Tiger Raid effect, and a stand. So pick your poison when it comes to Street Fighter. There's options out there. That's not a bad thing. Jada and Storm are both killing it. Links are in the description. It's a troop builder kind of week on the Fresh Monkey Fiction Big Bad Workshop Operation Monster Force front. Seems they're still photographing the factory samples they got in, and they're updating the Big Bad Toy Store product pages as they go. So little something new to look at while we get closer to release date, which is always a good thing. There's the, and yes, I'm gonna have to read these because lots of words. There's the Apophis Legion Undead Phantom Corps Trooper, the Phantom Corps Special Operations Detachment Trooper, and the Apophis Legion Rapid Reconnaissance. I almost had it. I was almost there. The Apophis Legion Rapid Reconnaissance Unit. Like the rest of the line, a lot of reuse, but each figure comes with enough stuff to change things up as you go. Sure, they're just zombie soldiers, but they're zombie soldiers. They're cool. They have a specificness, but also generic enough to kind of float into your other displays, and that's my favorite kind of action figure. I mean, the obvious one is Dr. Mindbender doing everything he can to take out some Joes, but you could also have this in the Marvel display. In fact, flanking the, what was the Marvel Zombies Captain America? And we got a few other figures, didn't we? But that's the one that stands out. Two of these behind him, just going at it. Oh yeah. Or have them stick where they are. Just bolstering the Forgotten King's troops in that ongoing battle between good and evil, but there's also some evil on the good side, some good side on the bad side, and ooh, yeah, so there you go. Whatever you want to do. For the two new Medicom MAFEX offerings of the month, they're not really up my alley, but I'm bringing them up simply because they're MAFEX. Somebody will like them. From online chatter, I've seen some people excited about The Bride of Chucky, but I've never seen a Child's Play movie. I know, it's crazy. You're so surprised. Now you'll notice that I only have this one picture. I thought the MAFEX solicitations were gonna go up before I started recording today, but they didn't. All I have are the two reveal images. So, seems to look good. Same goes for the MAFEX Boom Studios Berserker. And this one I have slightly more interest in because I have a bit of experience with it, but only because I've messed around with the McFarlane Toys figure, not that I've actually read the comic book. I'm assuming this is based on the art of the comic book, so it has a different look from the McFarlane figure. But what's throwing me is what little art I've seen from the comics, it's always heavy shadow, and this is bright light. So it looks off, but I feel like the base sculpt matches up pretty close. I guarantee I go into edits, or more than likely post this to YouTube, and the full photo spreads will be out there. And be like, why didn't you add those? And I'm like, it's Friday right now, my time. It's Saturday, your time. I'm from the past. Speaking of McFarlane Toys, it's been slightly quiet in the Todd camp the past few weeks when it comes to DC Multiverse. Not dead quiet, there's always something popping up, something popping out of that company, but not as much as usual. Maybe because they spent the last couple of shows and live streams just, here is stuff. This week we just got a couple of teasers of upcoming pre-orders. I think we already knew about Hawk Girl coming. I remember seeing her standing with a group, and then maybe something else after that. But here's your pretty mood lighting picture. It just means forward progress towards release and the pre-orders, which they list as next Wednesday, May 28th. Something a bit foggier, a bit more vague, is the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Gold Label Target exclusive Revenge of the Green Lantern Cyborg Superman. Now you remember, there was a regular version, or well, at least a more traditional blue and red version of this Cyborg Superman that just released. So seeing it in red is kind of, well, okay, it's kind of on par with Todd, isn't it? It's McFarlane Toys doing a variant. It's not just Superman with mechanical parts. It's changed up a bit, and that's always neat. But there's no exact date here. It says coming soon, exclusively in store at Target. Oh, good luck. I'm always morbidly fascinated by the color coordinated releases. Like, it's blue for redneck Target, and then it's red for pretentious Walmart. It's cool when it works out that way. I do wonder if they'll paint the right thigh this time around. It has the sculpt there, And doing some research, it is supposed to be silver. It was supposed to be silver on the blue Superman costume version. How about this? Is it supposed to be here too? I don't know. But then there's this, the collector edition Strange Lives of Superman. This is also coming soon exclusively in store at Target. So I'm guessing it'll show up at the same time as Cyborg? Or not? Or maybe it's already at Target. Have we already missed it? You never know. But the weirdness calls my name here. Well, okay, the base Superman looks like a fairly nice Superman. Kind of a grouchy, middle-aged, darker costume, shorter cape Superman, but I don't have one of those. So maybe. But it's the huge cranium and the Cowardly Lion add-on parts that really catch my eye. I don't know, it's Superman with lion parts. But I'm not intrigued enough to get upset if I miss this. If I never see this at Target or wherever else it's gonna release eventually. I'm leaving it to fate. If I see it, I'll probably grab it. If I don't, oh well. From DC to Marvel, nothing earth-shattering, but Hasbro did announce a Legends fan stream for next Thursday. That's right. You do these kind of things on Thursday, not on Friday. Dan reposted the Fantastic Four First Steps teaser that they showed a couple of months ago, so I'm guessing that may be the focus of this live stream. Since that reveal, the trailers have shown more powers, especially Reed stretching, which we hadn't seen before this, so this was kind of our first peek at Reed Richards stretching, which is not a huge surprise. They were gonna do it in the movie, but it's always nice to see. Plus, the movie is only 2 months out. It's time for that media blitz. Here's all things Fantastic Four. Like we talked about the first go around, Thing is not wearing his uniform in this, so he either loses it at some point fairly quick, or Hasbro's working off concept art. And that wouldn't surprise me. That's how they work, especially to have this reveal in time for the movie. As excited as I am for these and the movie, because I'm a cheerful, upbeat kind of guy, I'm also excited about the possibilities of getting more comic book Fantastic Four stuff because of this. We need a new Annihilus. We need an updated Mole Man. And no, I'm not just gonna list things we've already gotten, because we also need a Puppet Master. I think the top of my list is Wizard, though. I mean, how have we not gotten a Wizard before now? That leads us to the Frightful Four. And there, I could probably use one of the older Sandmans, but I would not pass up a new updated version. They could go for first appearance. Oh, that ugly costume. But I'd also go for an updated, retro-carded Sandman or deluxe version with all kinds of sand attachments. Just whew. Unless that's going to take the place of a Paste Pot Pete or Trapster, I'd much rather have him, something new, than another Sandman, even though we probably need one. He had a few looks, but this would probably be my choice. This is the one that pops in my brain. To cap off the team, or at least my favorite version of the team, we'd need an updated Medusa. Maybe something that has her hair floating her up like a stand or a bendy wire, something. But that does lead us to Inhumans and getting more of that roster, adding to that team. And the list goes on and on and on. And that's just me. Well, okay, that's allies. I didn't even get into a bunch of the adjacent characters. I'm willing to put aside X-Men for a little while for some Fantastic Four. That's the kind of guy I am, because I'm just out here for the people. Everyone needs to get what they want. But mentioning X-Men does bring me back around to last week's announcement, or last week's reveal of Shanna the She-Devil. I know it's just a render, but maybe it's just a tease for next week. Maybe they'll show more of her there. I said it last week as I was wrapping up the rewind. I picked up my phone, saw the picture, and thought, oh, that's great. But it's also a good base for customs and future figures. So lots of skin tone. I'm gonna need a few. And after having this picture for a week, I still feel the same way. She looks great. She's gonna stand next to Zabu and Kazar and a lot of the other dinosaurs I've gotten lately. And then I'm gonna need a few for customs. But the big thing, emphasis on big, that caught my eye this week is the Mety Toyz War Bear Collector Edition. If that whole thing sounds familiar, it's because Mety Toyz used to be Memory Toys, I believe. I think that's how it worked. And they did a War Bear that was much more human-shaped, anthropomorphic, as the kids say. And hey, that's awesome in its own right, but I don't know if it was based on World of Warcraft like a lot of other Mety Toyz / Memory Toys figures, but I'm pretty dang sure the new War Bear is. I guess collector edition means, hey, let's just make it full animal. None of those human proportions and muscles, just a big burly bear with armor options. And while all that gear is awesome, just nicely designed with the protruding bones and the collar of decapitated goblin heads, I think I'm in this just for the bear itself. Now, whoa, hold on. I know the Four Horsemen has a bear coming that is absolutely spectacular, but now we have options. The Mythic Legions version has a realistic aspect to it, which is great for some display and play options. Look at that cutie patootie. Hey, you looking good. The new War Bear is more comic, slightly stylized, and I feel like this would fit better with my Marvel Legends, which has always been part of the plan when it comes to bears. In the past, I more than likely said something like the 4-H bear would be my Ursa Major in my Marvel display, which would replace the Memory Toyz War Bear that I'm currently using, that replaced the Legends version that looked more like guy in suit, which it looked good, but I've been slowly upgrading. Could this be my new Ursa Major? Maybe. There is the size. Now remember, back to the first of this segment, the price is listed as $134, which is woo! But you take the size into consideration and that's a lot easier to swallow. Quadruped battle form is 30 by 23 by 21 centimeters, and then the upright berserk form is 34 centimeters. That's over 11 inches long when it's on all fours, and about 13 1/3 inches tall when standing on two legs. Big, ooh, big. Maybe too big? Over a foot is taller than, well, 99% of my Marvel display that isn't giant sized or HasLab. So I'm waffling. I probably don't need it. It'll stand out. I mean, you look at this, like, what's that bear off in the middle of all your Marvel stuff? So it may not look right, but at the same time, I look over at this, see the gleam in its eye, and think, you know what? Ursa Major can be as big as I want him to be. I've seen artwork where he's just towering over everybody else. Oh, wallet, forgive me for what I'm about to do. And that's all I have for this week. Like I said, things are still a bit slim, but that's okay. We have our lows and we have our highs. Even the lows have some toys to talk about. Summer's a coming. As always, special thanks to the Nobots and the Nobodies, the channel members and the Patreon. I wouldn't be able to do this without y'all. And I'm serious about that. I know it sounds like, but no, really, seriously. Had a ball at ICCC Con last weekend, hanging out, looking at some Star Wars stuff. Got a whole tub of custom fodder and more custom fodder, and even more custom fodder. There's a lot of fodder. But I also have some custom kits sitting and waiting, so there is that. It all works out. I also found an eBay seller with a bunch of X-Men Marauders heads, and I have those coming because I've been on an 80s kick. I have my giant size, well, okay, 70s, 80s, not early 90s. Giant size, I have my Outback, I have my X-Factor going, and then whoever fits within those timelines. I have the Reavers, and Freedom Force, still working on that, but I'm in custom mode, or I'm at least in planning custom mode, which sometimes doesn't exactly mean customizing, but it's working towards it. Although when I'm in custom planning mode, it can put off actual customizing for a while because I think, no, I can't do this until I get this, until I get this. Oh God, I can't start this until I get this. And who's it gonna stand with if I finish that? It's gonna be off by itself and I need this other one to finish and go. That's the mindset right now, but it's still customizing a little bit, even if I'm doing it up here. I actually went on a toy hunt last night. I thought, oh man, my local Walmart got the McFarlane Toys DC Retro Super Friends, but they had Batman, Green Lantern, and Red Platinum Riddler, which I've seen more than the regular figures. I don't know when to panic when he announces something like that, but I picked up Sinestro at a Target on the trip, so I needed Lex Luthor, and I had that urge, I had that feeling, I had that tickling in my gut that I need to go to other Walmarts and find them. But then I got out, hit the first Walmart, same assortment. Batman, Green Lantern, Red Platinum Riddler. I thought maybe this is the Walmart case there. Maybe this is all Walmart's getting. So I didn't go to any of the rest of them. I went to Target hoping they had put something out, but nope, my Target doesn't want to do that. But I'll find it. It's Lex. Surely it won't be that hard to find. Anyway, that's been my fun for the past week or so. I hope you've had fun. I hope you continue to have fun or go out of your way to try to have some fun, because that's what we're on this blue marble doing, attempting to have a good time. So until next week, farewell. I still haven't fixed the creaky floor, but goodbye.